Hi everyone, thank you for joining me on another episode of How I Healed from Eating Disorders. What I wanted to chat about today is exploring new points of view. The disorder behavior is very black and white, and in general, that's a behavior that is typical for people who have gone through trauma and tribulations when they were young. The reason for that being that when we're young, our brain only sees really black and white. So we don't have that ability to see a scope. We don't have a lot of analytic skills yet. So what we see is water good, fire bad, mummy's happy, mummy's sad. Our point of view is very, very limited. This is the important time where we build our structure, whether it's the family life, the school life. We need to feel safe. But some of the problems start when we're very young and that structure is not solid. That means that at a stage where our brain doesn't have the capacity to deal with, we're dealing with a lot of tribulations and things not adding up, people mistreating each other, people mistreating us, growing up with a constant sense of instability. You don't understand what's going on, and that leads to a lot of confusion. The brain kind of goes into a state of fight or flight. To a degree, the emotional development gets stuck. And in addition to that black and white, survival mode, we also crave a sense of control because we couldn't control anything that was happening around us, but everybody needs that controlled environment. So we begin trying to control things that in a healthy manner we shouldn't really need to control. It should just be a natural flow, but we never had that natural flow. This is where disorders come in and mental instability. An eating disorder is a perfect way of trying to control something that we shouldn't try to control. When you're in the disorder, again, the scope of what we're able to see is very narrow. So it's like good food, bad food, right? I'm either skinny or I'm terribly fat. I ate just in my allowance, or I went completely overboard. You either completely starve yourself, or when you touch food, you eat too much. If we speak about relationships, for example, a lot of times I felt like I was either best friends with someone or they would do something and I immediately judge them. Passive aggressiveness, for example, is something that is typical for people who have gone through childhood with trauma or with constant sense of instability. So it's either they're safe or they're under extreme danger. There is no state of let's talk this through. There is no state of okay, I'll just defend myself and explain myself. There is none of that. There is straight attack. It's not knowing how to work yourself out of a conflict. You don't have the tools, the mental and the emotional tools to deal with a situation that is not perfectly the way you want it. Because in our brain, not knowing what to do reminds us of that turbulence that we had to live through. And so it puts us in a place where we feel like our survival is being attacked. When you sit at home after you ate 2 packs of chocolates and you feel like the most disgusting, horrible person on the planet, learning to find a gray point of view that is not black or white, and learning that you can actually live with some of these consequences and it doesn't have to be all bad or all good. Part of the healing is working through situations by revisiting them and analyzing them, observing those situations in life where you're trying to control something because you're afraid of the outcome, and checking out different points of views, maybe of people who were involved in the situations, and anybody in your support system, a therapist, a friend, a family member who is stable and does have the ability to see things in a broader and calmer scope is probably a helpful person to help you do that. I wish you best of luck with trying to broaden your scope of how you are able to view situations. And if you've got, as usual, any questions, any comments you'd like to put down and for me to answer or respond to, I'll do my best. And I hope I'll see you on the next episode.